We are now less than 3 weeks away from Apple's rumored March 8th spring event, where they're expected to release a bunch of new products, including a new iPhone SE, 3 new Mac models, and of course, the iPad Air 5. So what I'm going to be doing in this video is going through all of the final leaks and rumors, as well as my own reasoning for why I'm 100% sure we'll be seeing a new iPad Air at this event, and then I'll explain why our iPad Air 5 custom renders have a square camera bump on them. But before I get into all of the main leaks that really solidify the rumors of the iPad Air coming at next month's event, I want to first go through the logical and common sense approach to why it makes sense for it to come as soon as possible, so let's get right into it. Last year in September, Apple revealed the new iPad mini 6, which came with a full redesign, finally matching the modern design of the iPad Air and the iPad Pro, complete with the USB-C port. But the thing I didn't expect Apple to do was to go above and beyond with the new iPad mini, specifically by giving it the brand new A15 Bionic chip instead of sticking to the A14. And the reason this was so shocking to me was because the iPad Air 4 that is currently still up for sale comes with the older A14 chip, while actually being $100 more expensive than the new mini with the A15 chip. To me, this makes absolutely no sense at all for a less expensive iPad to come with a newer and faster chip, which puts the entire lineup into disarray. But wait, that is not the only problem. The iPad mini 6 has a bunch of other advantages over the iPad Air. Like, for example, it comes with a much better camera system. It actually gets a flash module while the Air does not, and it comes with upgraded video recording capabilities like getting cinematic video stabilization at 4K resolution, and it gets extended dynamic range at up to 30 FPS while the Air doesn't get it at all. But the absolutely biggest difference is that the new mini comes with the brand new 12 megapixel ultra-wide selfie camera with features like lens correction, smart HDR3, extended dynamic range, and stabilization, which is a huge step above the basic 7 megapixel camera on the Air. And it comes with the center stage feature for FaceTime video. And believe it or not, even the new budget iPad for only $329 gets this new 12 megapixel ultra-wide camera as well, which makes it even more obvious that the current iPad Air 4 makes literally no sense right now in the current iPad lineup. And on top of that, the new iPad mini 6 actually supports 5G connectivity, which is obviously extremely important to Apple, and the iPad Air, of course, does not have that right now. So in my opinion, Apple needs to fix this messed up iPad lineup ASAP, which is why they absolutely need to release the iPad Air 5 at the next possible event, which should be on March 8th. But beyond that, there is actually even more common sense evidence for why Apple should be releasing this iPad Air at their upcoming spring event instead of later in the year. Ever since 2019, the iPad Air has been on a 1.5-year release cycle, with the current iPad Air 4 being released in September of 2020, which would point to a spring 2022 release date a year and a half later. But an even more important point I want to make is that the iPad Air has never been released in the middle of the year or in the summertime, and it has also never been released alongside the iPad Pro. And this makes total sense because the iPad Air and the Pro are right next to each other in the lineup, currently being fairly similar in terms of the design and only a couple of $100s apart in terms of the price point, so it would kind of create a conflict of attention. But if you've been following the rumors for the upcoming M2 iPad Pro, you'll know that basically all the rumors are pointing to it coming in the fall, including Mark Gurman, who is hands down the most reliable leaker, as well as Dylan DKT, who said it's coming in the fall for sure. And I personally agree with this because I believe Apple has to debut the new M2 chip on a Mac first before giving it to the iPad Pro later, which is exactly what they did with the previous M1 iPad Pro. And finally, the iPad Pro has mostly also been on a 1.5-year update cycle, just like the iPad Air, with the exception of last year with the whole M1 chip launch. and I believe they're gonna go back on that 1.5-year cycle again, pointing to a fall release for the new iPad Pro. And the whole point I'm trying to make is that it means that the iPad Air absolutely needs to get released this spring to avoid being released alongside the iPad Pro in the fall, which Apple has never done before, and I don't think they will. So with that said, let's move on to all the latest leaks and rumors that confirm this theory, as well as the new features and changes that we should expect. But first, I've got to show you guys our new iPad Air 5 renders in the green aluminum finish, alongside this beautiful green wallpaper, which you can find a download link to in the video description below. And yes, the design looks extremely familiar, apart from one noticeable difference: the camera bump. Now, getting into the leaks, for many months it was believed that the iPad Air would be the first iPad to come with an OLED display, but that was apparently delayed until 2023, according to Ross Young. And shortly after that, Ming Chi Kuo agreed and said that the 2022 iPad Air will be sticking to the same LCD display that we currently have, which is a bit disappointing. But then, in July of last year, Mac Otakara gave us a massive report in terms of what to expect from the design. And in the report, they claim that the overall design will remain unchanged with the same 10.9-inch display and the same Touch ID power button, but that it would gain a dual lens camera system with both wide and ultra wide cameras, which is exactly what we have on the current iPad Pro. And in my opinion, this makes total sense because Apple's Magic Keyboard supports both the iPad Air and the iPad Pro, but on the Air, it looks a bit weird because the singular camera bump doesn't really fit in the squarish hole in the case. And that is exactly why our new renders come with a dual lens square bump, complete with a flash and a microphone hole, perfectly matching the iPhone 13 camera bump design. And you might also notice that the LiDAR scanner is missing because Mac Otakara couldn't confirm if it was coming or not, and I think it makes sense to keep it exclusive to the iPad Pro models for at least another year. Now, apart from that, they also believe that the new iPad Air will get a 4-speaker audio system instead of the current 2-speaker system. And this makes total sense to me because it already has the 4-speaker grills, and it's expected to slowly gain iPad Pro features over the years. They also believe that it'll get an upgrade to the A15 chip, which is a very obvious change that I can guarantee will happen, along with everything else that the iPad mini received last year, like optional 5G connectivity, camera performance updates, and of course the new 12-megapixel ultra-wide selfie camera. But other than that, I honestly don't think it'll be getting anything else, with the 3 major feature changes being the new squarish camera bump, the A15 chip, and the quad stereo speakers, which is why I believe it'll still be carrying the same price of $599 as the current model is. And now finally, let's finish off with the major leaks that confirm that the iPad Air will be revealed at Apple's spring event. Last month, Apple registered new iPad model numbers with the EEC that are likely for the new iPad Air 5, and Mark Gurman basically confirmed this recently by flat out saying that Apple plans to unveil the new iPad Air at the March 8th event, which is the biggest confirmation yet. And Mac Otakara also came back and even confirmed that the new iPad Air models have actually entered mass production ahead of the event. So if we combine all of those leaks alongside the fact that the iPad Air desperately needs an update in order to make it make sense within the iPad lineup, as well as being on a 1.5-year update cycle, I can confidently say that the iPad Air will be revealed at Apple's upcoming spring event, 100% confirmed, no doubt about it. Now, if you disagree with me, then go ahead and let me know in the comment section below. But if you enjoyed this video, click that circle above to subscribe for more videos like this one, and check out that video which talks about the Macs that we're expecting at the March event. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.